We're joined by ERIKA O'SHEA to chat Blahinbo, Gaelic football and bolognese.
Trent pounds the ball into the pocket. Two Bombers players get in the way of each other. Bogue with a running banana. She's worked this game out pretty quickly.
Welcome back to Further North, everybody. Another huge guest on the pod, a new guest on the pod, which is very exciting. ERIKA O'SHEA is here. ERIKA, thank you for coming on. Fresh from Tasmania as well. We've already had a bit of a chat. You're a little bit sore, but hey, that's all part of the job, I guess.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I was really excited. Bit sore, yeah, but still recovering.
What did you think of Launceston down there? You just played a game and maybe got to spend a few days potentially. What did you think of it down there?
It's beautiful. It's where Mia King's from, so she was able to tell us a few nice places. So we left on Friday, came back Sunday, so it was too bad.
Unreal. Where else did you go? What did she recommend?
I think it was Cataract Bridge. Is that what it's called? It's
Cataract
beautiful.
Gorge, yep.
Our gorge, yeah, it was really nice. And we just went to a few nice coffee places along by the water, so it was actually really beautiful. Yeah,
lovely. No, I'm from Launceston. That's where I grew up, and I lived there for 20 years. So I was going to see where she recommended. I saw some of the stories and saw the Cataract Gorge. That's probably the number one spot around there. Did you visit the monkeys in the park by any chance?
I actually didn't this year, but last year a few of the girls, we went to see it, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, I like that.
Did you get confused why there's monkeys in the middle of a park? I mean, I grew up with that just being so normal, but everyone I've told since I've moved up to Victoria is like, why is there monkeys in the middle of a park? And I never really have an answer for that because that was just pretty normal for us who lived down there.
I was actually going to ask, so when you said it, I was like, oh.
I think they're, I believe, originally old, potentially like testing monkeys or something like that, originally from Japan. But I know they migrated a lot of them over here because the climate in Launceston is very similar to Japan or the area they were from. So now they live there. But I think originally they were like testing monkeys or something and they gave them a new home.
Crazy. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, which is very strange now. I'm thinking about it. Every time someone goes, why are they there? And I'm always like, yeah, I don't really know. It is kind of strange. But it's very infamous down in Launceston. I remember I was taking someone down for a wedding a few years ago, and the day before we left, the Launceston City Council posted up a Facebook status saying, to whoever jumped in the monkey enclosure last night, please seek medical attention urgently because all the monkeys do have the herpes virus and you can contract that through the water because the water can hold the herpes virus. So someone had jumped into the monkey enclosure to get the coins out of the water, the moat area, and they might have just swallowed a bunch of herpes water, which is pretty gross. But that's the sort of stuff you get down in Launceston.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm really selling you on the place, but you can tell everyone that story next time you're down there and you can act like you've got all the information about Launceston. You're basically a local at this point.
I'm going to tell everyone I'm a local.
It is nice down there. I do miss it, but yeah, that's cool. Is anyone else from down there? So just Mia or anyone else?
Nicole Breslin is from Tassie, but I'm not sure where. I think it's Hobart. I could be wrong.
Yeah. How many games do you guys play down there? Is it 4 or 3 games?
I think it's 2 games, actually.
2 games.
I could be wrong, but we have St. Kilda there in a few weeks' time in Hobart. And we just had that Lonnie game, so I think it's 2, but I could be wrong.
Did you play one at North Hobart Oval a few weeks ago, or am I making that up? Or maybe I...
Do you know what? We could, no, we could have. But I think because the season's so short, every week I feel like I'm just focused on the next week, so I feel like I've blanked that out by now.
Yeah, true. Oh, yeah, I swear you did. Anyway, that's a nice oval too because you can see all like Mount Wellington, all that sort of stuff in the background, and it's sort of halfway up the hill, so you can see all the Hobart Bay and all that sort of stuff. It's a nice place, Launceston and Hobart, and just Tasmania in general. But you know, I guess I moved up here too for a reason, so a little bit quiet sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's pretty though. It's nice to see.
I've got a couple of questions for you here, so we'll just chat and see how it goes. But a few questions about your life, the team, all that sort of stuff, and some things I'm actually really interested in asking because I've always had questions, especially from like, you know, overseas to over here and how the AFLW works with all that. But I guess in my little bit of research I've done, you played Gaelic in Cork originally, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, look at this. Started very, very well. How was all that? How did you get into that? Like, how big of a sport is that over there? Because we don't get to see it very much here, obviously. Is that a huge sport over there and a pathway for a lot of people to actually make a sport like that? Or is it rugby or what goes on over there?
No, it's definitely Gaelic football and hurling. The two of them are
and hurling?
Hurling, yeah. Have you seen hurling? That? Oh, it's like a stick and there's a ball called a slitter. I don't know how to describe it to you.
Is it like lacrosse?
People say it's similar, but I don't think it is. Because you run with the stick and you balance the ball.
Oh, I think I might have seen that, but I didn't know if that was a real sport or not. Okay, interesting. Hurling.
Yeah, it's huge at home. So that and football, so the two of them. And I would have played with Cork only from, I think it was like 16, 17, because I did trials underage. You do trials back home to make the Cork team. And I got dropped for a few years underage. And then I made it and then eventually made my way to senior. And then got scouted by Reese Harwood, who was the list manager at the time, North Melbourne, and he brought me out here, and I'm grateful ever since. So.
Yeah, okay, unreal. And it also said you made the All-Ireland team in 2021.
Yeah, I did. I was about 19 years old.
And is that similar to the All-Australian sort of team here?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, same thing. So I would have left after that, so I didn't get to play a full season with Cork since because I got stolen by North. So,
and how does that whole process sort of work? Is there scouts over there looking for talent, or is it just like a connection between the two clubs or the two leagues? How does that work? How do you get scouted from Ireland to come over to Australia?
So there's actually no connection directly with the clubs, but there's like a few different people like trying to start like a connection. It's like externally, but there is scouts. Like I know Geelong and like a few other teams have scouts in Ireland for both the men and women. So I think they obviously give names to clubs and then they research them and to get footage and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure Reese found me, like it was a video that was posted on Twitter or something, and he followed up and did his research. So yeah.
Yeah, wow. That's awesome. That's so cool. What's it like getting told that a club on the other side of the world's interested in you playing for them? I mean, how old were you at the time you got recruited?
I was 18 at the time when Reese contacted me. Yeah, I was a baby.
Yeah. How do you feel? Is it exciting? Is it nervous? What do you even think when someone, it must be pretty like satisfying to know that you've been good enough at something you're, working on so hard and then getting recruited from someone overseas.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, but I was also so nervous because I obviously wouldn't have lived out at home. I think I was just starting uni at the time and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able for the big move. And luckily North were incredible. Like everyone really got around me the year I came out and they became my second family. But yeah, it was definitely a challenging time at the start just to get used to even like basic things like cooking. Like if you had any of the girls on and asked them who would they trust to cook a dinner and who they wouldn't, I would be the one they wouldn't. Like they'd pick me straight away. So I had to adjust definitely. But yeah I'm grateful.
What's your specialty in the kitchen? If someone's coming over for dinner and you're like, I'm cooking, what's the go-to?
Bolognese. Ask any of the girls. I'm actually keen. If you ask the girls, what would I cook? I'll say bolognese.
I'm going to test that out, actually. I'll message Tess Craven after this. We're best friends, so yeah.
Ask Tess. Say, if Erika's going to cook dinner, what do you think she'd cook? And see what she says.
Do they rate the bolognese, though? Is it good bolognese?
It's like when I was 18, it was the only meal I could cook, so I had that every night for dinner for 6 months while I lived here. I'm not messing.
Wow.
So bad.
That's crazy. That's too much pasta, surely. I mean, I guess you're doing a lot of exercise around it, though. A lot of carbs to burn off, and at least that probably made you run around more than everybody else. Because I know when I moved from Tassie up to here, me and my partner at the time ate pasta every single day, and I think I put on about 15 kilos. But I probably wasn't doing enough to actually burn that off. So, hey, bolognese isn't always great. My bolognese recipe, everyone's bolognese recipe is so different as well. And look, I didn't know this is going to be a bolognese podcast, but this is fantastic. This is what the people want to hear. But mushrooms, carrots, I even chop some broccoli up in there as well and like boil it in beef stock and like really wither everything down, and it tastes unbelievable. But I'll send you the recipe and give that a go. And when everyone comes over, the bolognese can be a next level and you can impress everybody.
Yeah, be a chef. They'll all be really impressed.
I curated this over time. It took a lot of bad bologneses by me to make it really, really good. But hey, it's a staple. So look, you came over here to Melbourne at a super young age. Exciting times. I mean, what was it like, coming over here and then being a part of a new football club and a new sport? Like, I know that there's a lot of similarities between Gaelic to the AFL and the AFLW, but did you pick it up easy, or how confident were you that you were going to be able to play well?
I know, it was very challenging at the start. I think when I first came over, I was expecting to not get played. I was coming out with the mindset that I was like, oh, I'm just going to learn the sport and then go from there. But yeah, I was lucky that I actually got to play my first round that year straight away. And Cork took a chance, I suppose, and put me in. But when you first come over, all the Irish would say it's so challenging because you go from being like one of the top players in your team at home to just the lowest level. Like, you're learning to kick, you're learning handball, all these little things that should be easy because you think you're coming from a similar sport, but it's just not. And we don't have the physicality like that at home. So that took a toll on my body. And like gym, I remember I never did gym in my life until I came to North Melbourne. And I came here and I got the biggest fright of my life. I was trying to do bench press, couldn't do it, so they gave me dumbbells. Like, it was bad. So it took a while, but like, Croc was really good. He did extra sessions with me for kicking, little things like that. And he does it with all the Irish. Like, if all the Irish girls that come over, he takes them for extra sessions just to, help with skills and stuff. And he doesn't have to do that. So, like, we just have really good support and really good managers and coaches in the club.
Yeah, every one of the AFLW girls I've chatted to has spoke so highly of him, and obviously a lot of North Melbourne fans have a special place for him through the premiership years and taken over the club as an interim coach and that sort of stuff as well. And now obviously being super successful with the W. But yeah, seems like an absolutely ripping bloke. Like, no one's ever got a bad word to say about that guy. But look, you touched on the differences. What's it like holding an egg-shaped ball and learning how to kick that? Because I couldn't even imagine. I grew up with, bouncing that footy and stuff, but you can see when the Irish girls are running down the wing or something, they're bouncing it very, very different. Yeah. What's it like getting used to kicking and bouncing that football?
To be honest, I try not to bounce. But you can see we all go like down.
Yeah, I know. So funny. It's great.
But it just, with Gaelic football, we always just bounce the ball down because it's round. It's going to come back. And when you're kicking, you can kick with the inside of your foot like soccer because you know it's going to come back. And then with this ball, I was like, oh my God, like, Croc was getting me to hold it straight and I was tilting the ball sideways. And I'll never forget one game last year, even like, this is 3 years in, I should know different. So I held the ball like this, like pointing down. I thought if I turned it sideways, so held it like this, it would go further. I thought it would go further. So against Richmond, there's a video. Croc showed it to me, and I remember going through it with him. I gave him my reasoning, and he was just like, "No." So I tilted to the side, and I kicked it like this, like the face in that way.
Oh, fantastic.
And the Richmond player on the mark went, "What the like?"
What was that?
Like, yeah, she was cursing like, "What are you doing?" And I remember being on the mark being like, "Oh, it's too late now." I kicked it, so it was bad. Yeah.
That's so fun. Yeah, it'd be so difficult. I love it. Like, there was a play. Oh, I don't remember which game it was in, but like Vicky Walls broke through the middle and she's just gone, and then she's just running and bouncing this football straight down. And every time I see one of the Irish girls do that, I'm so scared that ball is just going to bounce in the complete opposite direction. But it does work more often than not. So look, you've done pretty well to be able to adapt to that, because even people from other sports, I mean, even seeing Snoop Dogg kick the footy a few weeks ago, like, it's very unnatural for a lot of other people. It's a very unique shaped ball as well compared to a lot of other sports. You actually have to kick a lot, but hey, you girls have picked it up pretty well. And look, you talked about the physicality as well. Is Gaelic not as physical? You can tackle as far as I'm aware, but what's the physical differences with the W compared to the Gaelic footy?
The tackling isn't actually tackling. If you watch the men, it's more physical, but the girls is like non-contact. It's meant to be non-contact, so you can't shoulder, you can't grab them, you can't do anything like that. So similar to basketball type defending, and put your hand in to like hit the ball off and stuff. You kind of bump them, but like you can't actually so it's challenging that way for Irish girls coming over because you're just not used to that physicality of people dragging you down, or you know what I mean, like those little things. So that was a big change, especially in my first training. I remember getting like crushed by, it was Grace Campbell at the time. She's a great girl. Like she came up, she's a good tackler. So I got dunked, and I remember it being like, oh my God, this is my introduction. I was like, I'm not going to get back up. Yeah, so it's tough.
Yeah, okay, that'd be a massive difference. I look, not trying to relate my football career, my very, very small football career to yours at all, but like I remember when I first played football, I didn't start till year 6. I was about 12 or 13 years old or whatever age you are. And I remember I got the ball for the very first time and someone bumped me and put me straight into the turf. And I remember laying there and I think I nearly cried. I'd never been hit like that in my entire life. The next year I did come back and I was a lot better. I think it toughened me up a bit, but man, getting hit like that for the first time is incredibly intimidating. I thought the Irish were usually pretty rough over there with their sort of sport. So is it like you can sort of grapple them and bump them a bit, but you can't like drive them into the ground?
No. Yeah, there's no driving into the ground or anything like that. If you watch the girls especially, you'll see it's like non-contact. It's more like endurance, like sprinting. It's more sprinting and like running, and I don't know how to describe it. You need to watch it and then get back to me, because that's just there's no contact, but there is contact.
Yeah. I get you. You can bump and you can. There's contact, but you can't like forcefully drag them into the ground, I guess. But look, maybe my next holiday is over there, and you can tell me some hot spots. I'll get to the Cork local team. I'll get a jersey and go and see what's going on over there. Is it a big, like, is it the biggest sport over there? What sort of size crowds do the Gaelic footy games usually get?
It could be anything from 100,000 in a final. Like it's just
wow.
It's mental. Like we get a lot of viewers. Like it's a huge sport at home. Like if you see an All-Ireland final, like you should look up an All-Ireland final game after this and like see the crowds. It's just like
absolutely.
It's just we're brought up with it, and like because you don't get paid, you do it for the pride of it. So everyone just does it because they love it, and that's the pride. You play for pride and you play for the jersey. Like it's a nice way of having it, because you don't play just for money and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's
absolutely. Good. Yeah, unreal. How much time do you spend between like Australia and Ireland? Like how many months at a time would you be here compared to back over there?
The last couple of years, I used to go home for 6 months. I think this year, actually, I'm not going to go home. If I am, it'll be like a quick holiday. But it's just hard because we have a visa and it's a sport visa, so we can't actually get a job outside the club. So because of that, I usually go home. But this year, I was trying to save the last couple of years and stay out for off season. So that's my plan. So do a bit more training with the girls and just enjoy playing football, I suppose, and getting more skills off season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you must enjoy living in Melbourne then. One of my friends, Rashan, says he runs into you a little bit around like the Fitzroy area and that sort of stuff. I don't know where exactly you live compared to there, but he's run into a few of the girls before and he's caught you at a few games and he loves that sort of area. Are you around that area or are you out in the suburbs more? Like what's your Melbourne experience like?
No, I actually used to live in Fitzroy for a few years, but I'm after moving further south now. So I'm loving it down here. Towards the beach is nice because I feel like that was very city for me, and I'm not really a city kind of girl, to be honest. So it was nice to be able to change and come down here, and I love being by the water. So yeah,
that's nice. That's nice. It's I mean, we're coming to summer as well. It's going to come around eventually, so it's going to be fun living down near the beach. I can't live near the beach personally. I'll just absolutely burn. I'll look like a lobster after about 10 minutes. This is, I've always said I can't move any further north in case just burns for me. It is outrageous. But apparently the Tassie sun is the harshest sun in Australia because the ozone layer is meant to be the worst over Tasmania. So I do think I got burnt more down there than I do up here, but the sun still scares me, I'll tell you what.
No, I actually heard that too. The girls told me that. They told me the ozone layer and stuff in Tassie. So I was layering on the sun cream at the weekend, making sure I didn't get burnt.
I got a question here about your first season. So in my research I've done, the article said you sustained an eye injury in a game and it said you nearly lost your sight. Now that sounds pretty hectic. Can you give me some info on this because I need to know?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Every time someone brings it up, I'm like, oh my God, I actually blanked that out of my mind. I was just trying to get it out of my head. Yeah, I got a weird one. I got an extreme hyphemia in this eye. There's a little scare, but yeah, you can't really see it from the camera. So it was a weird one. I just got an impact, like blow to my eye, and I thought my eye was shut initially. So I was down on the ground and I was like talking to the coaches that ran on to like tip me off, like the medical staff. I was like, oh, I'm fine. I was like, I just can't see. Just give me a minute. My eye's shut. And then my eye wasn't shut. So that's when they were like, oh, something not right. So took me off and went into hospital, and they just told me it was bleeding from the inside. So it blocked my vision, basically. So it was just a scary one. It lasted about maybe 2 months and I couldn't see. Yeah.
Couldn't see for 2 months?
Just in one eye. Yeah. It was just pure black. And then eventually it started getting like blurry, and then you could just see like, I remember seeing like just the kind of like dark like light, but I see a little bit. Yeah. And then eventually it started getting better and better. So yeah,
that would have been so scary. I'd be like, I'm never going to be able to see again. Like, yeah, was it just the blood had to like drain out of the area, or why did it take that long for it to get better?
No, it had to be drained out of the area as well. So I was just a waiting process to see how long that would actually take. I had to sleep like more like upright so that it would drain properly, because if they wouldn't want it to drain to one side if I slept on my side and stuff like that. But Emma Kearney's aunts and Wendy, they were both incredible. Like Kearney came to the hospital, took me out from there, and I didn't have anyone here, and she brought me back to her aunt's house basically, and I stayed with them and Kearney, and Cheerlaw was there for a bit, but I was so lucky. They took me in and they looked after me. They're the reason I got better, and I say that all the time. They were so good to me. They cooked me breakfast, lunch, dinner until I got better. So yeah, they were incredible.
Unreal. Sounds like you owe them a big bolognese dinner for that.
That's big bolognese.
This is world famous bolognese now. Actually, I need some of that bolognese. You need to do like a day at the club where you cook for everybody and the fans can come down and try it. There's your, I guess your visa maybe says you can't do it. You got to get a pop-up bolognese store. Ask Cam Zerha. He'll sort it out for you. He can sell it, but you can cook it.
If I tell Tess Craven or any of the girls that I'm cooking, they're not going to eat it. I'm telling you that.
I back your cooking ability, Erika. Trust me. I know one day you'll nail it. Enough time in Melbourne, you'll be good. You're at a football club with Cam Zerha. Surely he's given you some tips.
No, I need to ask him. I haven't seen him around, so I'm going to need to ask him when I see him.
Unreal. What's your favourite food? Like, this isn't a question I've got here, but while we're chatting about food, like if you could have anything, what are you eating? If you're dinner, lunch, whatever, but what's your favourite food?
Acai bowls.
What is it, sorry?
Acai bowls. Sorry, Taylor Gaspin.
Oh, no. Yeah, Taylor, come on. We're in the middle of this. This is an important acai bowl chat. Yeah, okay. I've never had one of those.
Haven't you? Oh, my God. Game changer. Okay. Like, I'm obsessed. Hooked.
Wasn't there like acai bowl wars or something going on with some businesses and there was different acai bowl businesses are opening up and there was like rival conflict between these things, or am I just making this up at the top of my head? I thought this was like a big Melbourne thing. It's if anyone else out there has heard about this, let me know in the comments if I'm onto something here or I'm just crazy. But I swear there was like rival acai bowl businesses and they were all beefing.
Oh, I've never heard of that. I feel like I've tried like every place in Melbourne. Like I'm obsessed.
Okay. What is it exactly? Describe it to me.
Like acai is like a berry and it's like the consistency of like ice cream, most places. And it's like all the fruit then, like you get strawberries, banana, raspberries, all that kind of stuff on top, and like peanut butter and Nutella, whatever you want, and granola. It's just so good. I love it.
That does sound good, actually. I wonder if there's any acai bowl places out in the eastern suburbs. I don't know. I'll have to Google that, but what do you get on it? What, Nutella, peanut butter, what you go?
Ooh, I will get Nutella, I reckon. Whereas almond butter, I like almond butter. And then I have strawberries, banana, granola, and raspberries.
We've started using almond butter actually here to cook a lot of things, especially a lot of like Asian style dishes. My partner makes this like mince, and I don't know what she puts in it, but whatever it is, it tastes delicious, and we'll wrap it up and dunk it in a mixture of like the almond butter and like soy sauce. You mix that together, and it tastes amazing. If you like any sort of peanut buttery Asian style sauces, soy sauce, almond butter, mix it together and dunk your food in it. It's incredible.
Sounds really good. Sure.
Absolutely. All right, back to football. I got to finish these questions here. I'm hungry now too, so now I have to go eat dinner after all this food chat. Running off halfback. Now, every time you get that football, I know there's going to be running and there's going to be long kicking involved. When you came over, how do you find the role or the position you'll play? Do they just look at highlights of you from the Gaelic days and go, oh, look, the pace that she's got, she could really drive that ball forward? Or how do you sort of find that position? Because you play it super, super well.
Oh, I don't know about that. I try my best though. I do think, I suppose, having people like Emma Kearney and Nicole Breslin, those girls playing in the highline beside me, I've got to learn so much off players like them with the experience they have and the talent. So it's challenging. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like now I'm kind of getting grasps of it, and I'm here 4 years, so it's challenging. But I think it's something that, for North Melbourne anyway, we're such a structured team. Like everywhere we run, I feel like I have to think about it first, which is good. But that way, I feel like I found that part most difficult because it's all tactical. Like I run here to help my teammate Libby Birch, who just brought the ball to ground. Like I need to get back and support her and get into like a bunker position or whatever. So that way, it's very tactical. Like whereas in Gaelic football, I'm like, oh, sprint. I'm sprint. Go, see ball, get ball. Like that's the way we're taught. So I can't obviously do that here. I can't be collapsing across the whole time pitch and stuff like that. So that way, yeah, it took a while.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like we don't get much insight into like tactics or how professional sports teams, or I don't anyway, like set up and all that sort of stuff. So it's interesting to know, like, you know, you play this one position and you've got exactly sort of where you need to be at certain times. So is it more, you know, you're trying to stand around some of the talls like Libby Birch, and once that hits the ground, your job is to try and get that ball and push it forward? And when you are pushing it forward, are you trying to look for a specific player or a specific target, like you know where the players are going to lead or something like that?
It can be. It depends on the play, I suppose. Like we're a very like team based, obviously, backline. So like if I see Emma Kearney going, I'll try to cover her or something like that, you know? It's just like more that way. I feel like we all play our role, and like we all have different roles. So mine could be like, dishing up from ground level or driving my legs when I can, like exploding in defense, like stuff like that. So yeah, I suppose it would be. I could be all of different roles, so it's kind of hard to. Yeah.
Do you get given that role like before the game? Like would Croc be like, okay, this game we need you to be doing this because we're playing this opposition? Would he be like, all right, you're going to be at the feet of the talls. I need you to get that ball and drive it forward because we're against this opposition? Or is it more detailed than that?
No, I feel like we've built up the team over the years. Like you can see all the players we have now, we've had for majority of the last 2 or 3 years. So I feel like we've been like taught, and we've built like a connection as a team as well. So that kind of that way, I feel like we developed that. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. No, it's so interesting. I don't know. I've obviously not been at that level of a sport before, and it's so cool to find out like how structured is it, or is it just, you know, go out there and get the ball and just make it up and use your instincts. But, you know, obviously you girls are just, you know, you can't lose a game obviously in the last few years, which is insane. But, you know, to know that it's super structured like that is good because you just keep having consistent performances. Let's wind it back a little bit to the grand final last year. I just want to know like your experience with that and how it was when the siren went and the celebrations. Have you got any stories for us? Just what was that whole the night and the few weeks after for you?
Yeah, it was incredible. I think it was one of those like pinch me moments. Just the atmosphere, the crowd. My parents actually were there, which was so lovely. I got to have my mom and dad on the field. Yeah, so it was so good, and like to experience that with them was incredible because obviously I wouldn't have been able to do what I do without them. So having to share that experience was cool, and yeah, just to finally be able to say we've won the grand final, it was insane.
So
with
close
your best
to you before
friends.
too.
Yeah, exactly. It was just, we had a tough year the year before. So just to be able to finally come out on top, I suppose, after all the hard work. And like, at the end of the day, you're playing with your best friends. And like, I know we could say they're your work colleagues and stuff like that. But like, at North, we're like a family. So to be able to experience that win together was just incredible, and hopefully build on it in the future. But yeah, I can't even look that. It was just an amazing time, the best moment of my life. I feel like the few weeks after were funny as well. Like we all got tattoos, my little kangaroo, and yeah, so that kind of stuff we were able to enjoy as a team.
Yeah, that's so nice. Did you went on a trip as well? I can't exactly remember where it was. Where was your off-season trip?
Gold Coast, yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Oh no, actually, no. Gold Coast is this year. My bad.
This year.
Yeah,
was it New South Wales on the coast?
Yeah, it was New South Wales. That's Newcastle.
Right. That's right. Yep, Newcastle. Yeah, because I was talking to Tess about that when she was on the pod. That's right. How was all that? I mean, that would have been just the best time, right? Everyone's having a party and hanging out, and you're all premiers, and it would have been so fun.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and like even just like being able to enjoy it together as a group, and like we had those few days to like just bring it back to down, I suppose, and like rewire ourselves and like just enjoy all the hard work that we put in for the whole year and the last couple of years leading up to it. So it was really nice to enjoy it together.
More partying or more relaxing by the beach and that sort of stuff? What was the vibe of the trip?
I'm more relaxing by the beach, but a few of the girls were definitely more partying.
Who are the suspects? Who are the party animals, and who relaxes by the beach with you?
I feel like Libby Birch and me would be by the beach, and then I feel like Alice O'Loughlin loves a party, and Jazz Ferguson, yeah, she loves a party.
Unreal. I'm trying to remember. We had Tess and Sarah Wright on, and they answered a similar question. And I can't remember exactly who they said were the party animals, but it sounded like a fun trip. I think Sarah Wright was making sure she was in bed by 9. I think that's what she told me before, being one of the old timers on the trip. But all the Instagram stories and what the club was putting out, it looked like so much fun. The fans have really got involved with the W over the last maybe 3 seasons, especially as well. I know, I over the last 3 years really, really got into it, and I didn't really know exactly what to expect from being like an AFLW fan. Following the AFL my whole life, and the W comes around and you see glimpses of it, but when you really try and dive into it, it's definitely a little bit of an unknown. My first ever game, I think, was the prelim final 2 years ago when you got into the granny against Brisbane, and then I went to the grand final and unfortunately we lost the game. But I couldn't believe how much fun I had at the game, and the crowd was really into it. And, being a North Melbourne fan since a kid, even though there was different players on the field, you see the jersey out there and you start screaming, and I was yelling and getting really, really invested. Like, I guess the build up to the question here is, over the last 3 years, you've been so successful. How have you seen the support grow from the fans and the crowds increase and that sort of stuff? What's it like for you as a player experiencing that?
Yeah, the fans have been incredible. Like the supporters, even in Aglani yesterday, we had great supporters that I would have seen previously in like last year's games in Lonnie. And like the same people come, and like you just remember their name and their faces, and like they're just so good to always travel for us. One boy told me he travelled 3.5 hours to go watch our game yesterday.
Oh,
and he had 3.5 hours drive home as well. So yeah, like those things mean so much to us. Like one girl bought me an Irish flag yesterday, which is cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, and like little things like that, they mean so much to us. And like over the years, we've had amazing people come into the club. I had a woman like cook me dinner, like because I couldn't cook obviously when she spoke about. She cooked me dinner, like, and like she's just a North Melbourne supporter, and like would drop it into me when I was working in the shop in North Melbourne Football Club, so merch shop, and just stuff like that. Like it was amazing. And when I got injured, they bring me food from the break club and stuff like that. Like, so I was really lucky that, the fans got around me when I was injured with my eye and little things like that. But as a whole group, like we appreciate all the support that we get. Like it's amazing. And even to hear that you enjoy it as well. Like I love that.
Yeah, it's so fun. I mean, the AFLW obviously has its critics and has its supporters and that sort of stuff. And, there is a divide maybe with the top teams compared to the bottom teams, but as the league grows and more talent comes in and young girls are watching players like yourself and Tess and Vicky Watt and like other Irish girls will come over, it'll just get better and better. And I really wish, especially being in a barbershop, we talk about this stuff, or just hearing other people speak about the W, when people have negative things to say, I'm like, I just don't know if you've watched the best teams play in this game, because you are really good. And like I said before, I didn't want to be a fan that, especially with the podcast, I didn't want to be the person that just covered it because I felt like I had to. I wanted to make sure I got into it, and so I could actually talk to yourself and talk to Tess and actually analyze the games and really get into it. And I genuinely, it was so much fun. I love going to the local grounds, and we'll get some mates together now. We went to the Windy Hill game last year. We got a gang of like 6 of us together. We went and found a deli sandwich spot. Then we went down to the game, sat against the fence in the sun, and just watched the girls play, and obviously, win a lot of games. It's a really fun and different type of football experience, especially for people like me who are used to just going to AFL. So, our team and Hawthorn and Adelaide and Brisbane, there are so many good teams in the W, and I really wish that they could showcase those bigger clashes more, because I really think the quality of football is a lot better than what some people may think. And I mean, we haven't lost a game since 2023, Eric. It's crazy stuff. Like, you're clearly so good at football. And, I mentioned it before, but there was the play where a few weeks ago where Vicky picked that ball up on the half volley, like right in the center, and her and please excuse my pronunciation, Blaheen, is that?
Yeah.
Blaheen? But yeah, fantastic. Yeah. And those two just ran down handball to handball, and it was such a perfect play. And I'm going to ask you about some of these girls in a second, but Blaheen as well against the Bombers kicked like a banana from the boundary line in the wind. Like, that's crazy. That in stride as well. Didn't look awkward at all. She just grabbed that football, ran and slotted that thing. And that in the AFL would be incredible. So I really hope more people, and it is happening slowly, but more people get involved, because I've loved it and I know how much I care about it. My partner loves it as well. And she's, like I spoke to you before, like, she's from Colombia and she doesn't really know exactly what's going on. But, she goes, oh, there's Tess on the game. And when you guys are playing on the TV and that sort of stuff. And that's great. So, there is a really good quality of football there. And I encourage so many people to go and get into it, because it's a different day at the football and it's so fun. And, you guys can't really lose at the moment, which is fantastic. And it makes it even better, especially when we're trying to balance out what the blokes are doing right now, even though I think there's a lot of positives there. And, I'm excited for the future there, but you girls definitely help out the fans a lot in the times when the men are down. It's good to watch you guys run around and win. And, I think that's also why the crowds are really good. And when I see the ones at Arden Street, there's people packed up against the fences, and you're definitely helping us get through the rough time with the men's team. That's for sure.
Oh, I don't know about that, but thank you. No, it's good to hear you're enjoying it, definitely.
Let's chat about a few of the individuals from the season so far. So, Blaheen Bogue, my favourite player this year. She is so good. And honestly, like, we talked about the banana before. She kicked another goal in that game, which was fantastic. But speed, the accuracy she kicks that football. I mean, it's her first year playing, isn't it? Like, how has she been able to come over and just do what she's doing? Because she's genuinely like just a highlight reel. It's so fun to watch.
She's great, and she's a great person as well, which is like a huge thing. She's a great person to play with and a great person off the field. And she's so talented. Like, she played scrimmage all last year, so unfortunately she didn't get a game last year. But she worked her way onto the team and she took her chance, and she's doing so well. Every time she kicks a goal, like, I feel like all of us are so proud. Like, she's worked hard to get to where she is, and she's practiced lots of goals. So I feel like those banana kicks, we all are like, oh, it's Blaheen, she has it, because we know she's practiced them. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's so good. She's making it, like, other people that I chat to, other North fans, she's a big reason why people go and watch these games now as well, because, the fundamentals are there with a lot of the girls on the team, and it's good football, but it's players like that make you want to watch sports in general. I mean, men's, women's, it doesn't really matter. It's, stars and people who can give you those highlights are the reasons. I'm going to remember that goal for ages, because I just couldn't believe Windy Hill is the windiest place I've ever seen, ERIKA. I went there last year and I could barely stand straight. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. And that's the sort of stuff you're like, wow, that's why I'll come back and watch the next week. And it's moments like that hopefully people watch and go, that was actually pretty good. I'm going to watch them play next week, or maybe I'll go to a game. If you executed that banana, ERIKA, how many times out of 10? You had 10 of those. How many are you sliding through the goal?
I'd say 1 if I'm lucky. I'm a defender.
That's true. Defender, especially if you're holding the ball like this. That's not the best start. Vicky Wall. my first favorite player in the AFLW. I believe she played rugby sevens for Ireland. Is that correct?
Yeah. She trained with all them last year as well. So she's had a great experience with them.
Just an absolute wrecking ball of a player. Every time she's around a contest, I know that the opposition is looking for where she's at, because there was the game against Sydney last year. I actually filmed this on my phone from the TV because I wanted to show some of my mates about my favorite player, Vicky Wall. And she's one of the Sydney girls last year, got the ball and she's come in from the side and grabbed the back of her jersey and slung her around into the turf. And you've just seen this girl lay on the ground and just stay there for a little bit just for her own safety. And I've got no doubt she's a lovely person, but are you scared when you're training and she's around? I mean, she's so tough.
Yeah, she's tough. She's a good player. I think because we're her teammates, we're not as scared as the opposition. I would like to not be on her team, definitely.
Don't ever get traded, ERIKA, just for that.
Yeah. She's a great player and she's a really good person too. So yeah, she's talented, she's strong, and she brings the physicality that I suppose a lot of people can't. She's incredible.
Kicked a nice left-footed goal. I think she's left-footed anyway, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a left footer. So yesterday she kicked a good one from the 50. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. that just kept going and going too. And it's also like watching it and the slightly unorthodox kicking style that she's got. Even she kicked a couple in the granny last year, I think, as well. And she's over the top of the ball and I'm thinking, oh, come on, Vicky, you got this, but I don't know about that ball drop. And they just sail through. So look, if it goes like Ben Brown, who played for North for years, it's not the most textbook run up or anything like that. But as long as they go through the sticks, that's all that matters. And she's really hitting some form coming into the latter part of the year as well. I think she missed the first couple of games potentially and grew into it. But I think she's really starting to get back to like last year, Vicky Wall, which is very exciting because she's a fantastic player, especially with Alice O'Loughlin out and a few other players. She's very, very important, and I love watching her play. Every time she's around that football, someone's going to get smacked, and that's fantastic. Ash Riddell. Now, I don't know what the record for the amount of touches in an AFL season is. Surely she's broken it already, but she's unbelievable. Like 45 touches in every second game, it feels like this year. She's always been really, really good. Last year, she was fantastic, but it seems like she's at another level this year. I mean, look, I'm not expecting her to give us all of her training plans and stuff, but has she done anything different, or is there a different role there? Like, how has she just gone up another level on last year?
She's Ash Riddell. Next year, I promise you, she's going to break the record again.
Crazy.
Like, every single year, she's going to keep building, because when I first came to the club, her and Jasmine Garner set the tone for the drive of what you need to be a good athlete. Like, they're constantly striving to be better and like push each other in the running, every little thing. They do it and they do it right. And they just are workhorses. So learning off people like that, like I remember me and Taylor Gatt were beside each other and we were like, oh my God, we were both in awe. We were like, we want to be them. Like, oh, they set the tone for younger players coming through. And I think that's the reason why we've been so successful with younger players coming through as well. Because we have leaders like that who just stand up and set the mark and break records. But like one thing about those two girls, like Jamin and Ash, neither of them would go out to set a record or anything like that. They're the most humble people you would ever come across. And I think that's why everyone just loves them. The fans, people off the field, friends, everyone loves them. They're just the most humble people and just incredible athletes. And like they work so hard, and every year they're going to keep getting better and better. I know that because every year they do. And they push each other harder and harder. And yeah, we're really lucky to have them as captains.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, you touched on it, but like Jazzy Garner as well. Everything she does looks like we've talked about, like, you know, some of the Irish girls and some of the girls who are newish to footy, like the unorthodox style. She looks like she's had a football in her hand from day one. There's just everything she does is so smooth. How she kicks that football. She's playing a little bit more forward, it feels like, this year with some other players going into the middle. But, I mean, what else can you say? Like, what's it like playing with a player like her? Because she's kicking multiple goals a week. She'll get 30 touches in the midfield. It must make your life a lot easier knowing when she's got the ball, something good's probably going to happen.
100%. I think if we see Jamin in the forward line, one-on-one, we know she's winning it.
It's like, over.
And yeah, so we look for that. But like I remember Croc even said to me before, oh, like I kicked the ball at Jasmine Garner. She was 2-on-1. And Croc was like, oh, why would you kick it to her when, she's 2 players on her? I was like, I'll back her any day of the week.
It's
I
Jasmine
was
Garner,
like,
that's why.
yeah. And he was laughing. He said, I completely understand. And like, that's the kind of player she is. Like, she's just unstoppable. And like, I mentioned earlier, like, she's like, we have so many great people on the team, but she is just an incredible person. Like, as a person, I can go to her about anything. And I know that if I ring her tonight, she'll answer and she'll be there for me. And that's the kind of leader I think we're so lucky to have, because she sets the tone. And like, even this year against Essendon, I think we had a rocky start. I wasn't playing in that game now, but they were losing, I think it was like 15, 20 points.
Yeah.
And having Jasmine Garner, like, she's just so calm. Like, there's nothing phases her, and she really settles the group. And like, no one came in stressed, not one person. And like, a lot of teams would be shaky, be like, oh, we're down, like, so we haven't lost in a while, like. And she just has this aura about her, and the group was completely calm. And that's just the great person she is. She's humble, wouldn't be like an overbearing personality, but has the drive to get everyone going. And she has a huge character on the field, and she's just, she's incredible. I can't speak highly enough of her.
Unreal. Well, I know you didn't play that game, but do you know sort of what was said at quarter time of that Bombers game? Because a position you guys haven't been in for a long time, like, or even if you weren't in there, like, what do you think they did differently? What maybe caused no score in the first quarter? Was there something off for the team structure? And do you know what they did in that second quarter and beyond to just get the job done?
It was the wind. I'm not gonna lie to you. The conditions were the worst it's ever been. Like, when I was there, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a tough game. So the wind was so one-sided. So personally, I think the weather was a big, but obviously, there's a few different things as well. But the wind definitely didn't help, is what I'm saying.
No, that's fair. Ruby Tripodi is someone I want to talk about. Maybe one of the people talk about all the time, but she's been going into the middle, especially when Garner went out for a few weeks. I feel like she went straight in and tried to play that similar position. She's been really, really good in that midfield role. And I think just from my perspective, it seems like her being so good and so strong in there has allowed Jasmine Garner to push forward and play more time forward. Is that a role that she was always going to move into? And how have you seen her in that? Because I've been really, really impressed with her work at the centre bounce.
I think everyone's impressed with Ruby. She's such a hard worker. She's this drive in her that Ash has as well. It's just always constantly get better. And you can see that since she's come to the club. Like, her improvement has been incredible. She's a huge part of our success, and she's an incredible person. I say that about everyone, but she is really, really amazing. And like, she's a strong body. She gets stuck in. She's not afraid to take the heavy hits, and I think that definitely helps the girls in the midfield. Yeah.
There's a little bit of like George Wardlaw about her in the middle. Maybe not like, putting people in the turf all the time, but she's just like strong through the hips and can explode out of a contest and doesn't really get bowled over very easily as well. She's got a lot of strength in that area. And once she gets that ball, she's done really well at like getting away from the pack a little bit and getting that forward or staying strong in those contests. I really love it. I think it's really great to see her getting in there, and it's not just the same three as well. I mean, look, we could talk about players like Mia King is such a good player, but because there's Riddell and Garner in there, doesn't get talked about as much, and Ruby's work in there. One question I've got for you: have you ever seen Tess Craven miss a kick before?
No, actually. She's the best kick, and Jasmine Garner. She's up there with Jasmine Garner. But she is the best kick, and she is a huge jump. Like, if you see her going for a mark, she's going to be specking people soon. You can tell her I said that.
Fantastic. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Tess Craven hangers. That's what I need in the W. That would be the best. Hanger, 5 points down in the granny, kicks the goal after the sign to win the game. I'm calling it now. I love Tess. She's the nicest, but she's the first AFLW player we had on the pod, and she's come on maybe 3 or 4 times now, and she's awesome. I love Tess. She taught me about Namcor as well, which I wasn't really very aware of before, but me and Rashaan were trying to think about, do we plan a day where we all go and wear like jean shorts at the game and wear Namcor just to honor Tess Craven? I think that'd be a fun time.
Yeah, she's cool. She's a cool way better too. I love the way she dresses and like the way she carries herself. She's a good person. Yeah, she's a good friend of mine. Yeah, she's great.
She's the best. Is Taylor Gatt going to come back for the finals? I need some inside scoop here. I miss seeing her run down the wing. She's so quick and just gets end to end. When's she coming back? Please tell me she's playing finals.
I actually don't have a date that she'll be back. I'm not going to lie to you. Sorry to disappoint, but she's been progressing a lot in her rehab and she's been working really hard. I think we all know the drive she has to get back, and she's been doing all her rehab so structured and like getting everything done, ticking everything off, and she's had huge improvements in the last couple of weeks, so hopefully we'll see her soon.
So have you ever seen the international rules series between Australia and Ireland? They haven't played it for about a decade, but Australia used to form a team from the AFL players and play some of the Gaelic players from Ireland. It was like 10 years ago. It was a 3-game series. Have you ever seen those games before by any chance?
No, I actually haven't. No.
Okay. Because I did a podcast a couple of days ago with one of the guys called Chief, who always comes on. And what we want to know, and I think this will be some box office stuff on the TV, an AFLW game, Australia versus Ireland team, who would win that game?
Well, I'm going to back the Irish, but I think the Aussies will have a different answer. But I'll back the Irish. Blahin, Bo, Vicky, I back them.
This is an all-star team because when Chief asked me that question on the pod, I was like, well, so many of my favourite players are in the Irish team. I think, Blahin, ERIKA O'SHEA, of course. Vicky's in there crunching people. If Blahin's going to keep kicking bananas from the boundary line, I've got the red hair. I've got to back the Irish in. Surely, I'm sure it's a heritage of mine somewhere down the line. Maybe I'd be on the Irish. I can't tell Tess Craven that, but it would be so fun. Would you like a game like that if they propose that to you guys? Do you reckon that could be something that would happen or everyone would be into?
If they proposed it, definitely. I feel like a lot of the girls would be up for it. But yeah, it's something I suppose it would be tricky with the seasons and stuff. But we would love to see it. The Irish would love to take on the Aussies, I reckon.
Yeah, everyone would be people. So many people would watch it. It'd be great. I reckon it'd help get so many people into it. And I reckon, the Irish would be like, you know what, we're going to take these guys here and beat them at their own game. I reckon it'd be Vicky would be crunching some people. I tell you what, that'd be box office television.
I reckon it'd be a good watch. I'd like to see it myself.
Oh, unreal. I've got to get some connections, and I got to see if we can, even if we do it in a park somewhere or something, surely enough people would want to get involved. But I think it'd be so much fun. It'd be so much fun. If you could play a different position, say this game, one of the better Irish players like yourself, ERIKA, comes over, plays this all-star game sort of thing. You're not off half back. What position would you want to play in that game?
I reckon wing.
Okay.
I like wing. Bit of running. I like that.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. You wouldn't try go full forward, get on the end of a few, take a hang of yourself, kick a few goals?
Nah, leave that to Blahin.
Yeah, true. Yeah, she'd be taking the ball up there too much. You're right. You've got to get the ball to her.
Yeah.
That'd be a great connection. Man, look, if that game ever happens in the future, you heard it here first. I'm going to take my royalties for that because that would be absolutely fantastic. But look, that's all I've got for you, ERIKA. Thank you for jumping on, giving me some of your time and chatting about the AFLW. I think everyone who's listening to this is going to be super excited to see you girls in the finals. We'll pack out as many stadiums as we can for you, and hopefully a grand final, hopefully a premiership. I know you're not going to call that too early, but hey, we're on the bandwagon down here. So good luck for the rest of the season. Thank you for coming on, and let's go back to back.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it as well. I'll see you at the next game.
Absolutely. Richmond as well. I think it's 7:15 next Saturday night, I believe.
Yep, Icon Park.
Fantastic. Do they let us all on the ground at the end of that game there as well?
Oh, I'll try work it for you. If I see you, I'll try to get you on.
A little guest pass. I've got connections now in the industry. That's fantastic. Yeah. All right. Well, look, we'll see you there. Playing bottom of the table, Richmond. So, look, don't take them for granted there, ERIKA. I want a big win. And Blahin kicks 10. I'm calling that.
I want to do it.
Easy. We'll chat to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.